Man, we have so much to cover today. I've got gear to talk about, I've got chords to talk about, I've got guitar styles to talk about, charts to talk about. The first thing I want to show you guys is this. This is called the Performaxe, and I wear a strap a lot of the time because it keeps my back straight. But this thing allows you to kind of sit and have the guitar in the right position. Most of the guitars, all the guitars we use, Les Pauls, everything, they actually sit low, so you end up curling your back over the instrument, and that takes a toll as time goes on. So let me show you this. He makes this in two colors. Here's the silver one. And it's really a great design. There's some set screws that you can use to even secure it down here. I don't even use those. I just open it up, put it on the guitar, tighten it, and use it. And once again, this is a piece of gear that I bought, and it's not a sponsored video. I love most of the time just showing you stuff that I like to use and that I buy. It just feels better. So go online. There's a link for this down below if you want one. And even if he's out of stock, I would say wait for one and order the black one, because the black one disappears visually. And if this is something you're interested in, I really, really think it's a great product. It's not that expensive. And I'm really interested in the ergonomics of guitar. My next video is going to really be about that, but it's going to be a little bit about that today. So this thing really works great. Yeah, right. Oh, and the reason I know about this is that Andy Timmons video on That Pedal Show, where he played that beautiful piece of music. I made a video about that. And when I made the video, I saw this under his Strat. So I contend that if it's cool enough for Andy Timmons, it's cool enough for me, and maybe it's cool enough for you. So this song is Ordinary World by Duran Duran, one of my favorite songs of all time. And one of the things about guitar players that's a little different than, say, my point of view is I like songs. I love guitar playing, but I like guitar playing in service of songs. So there really isn't a lot of guitar on this, but there is actually if you start to listen, and it's in service of this great piece of music. And the reason I chose this is because the chord changes require you to hit chord tones. You really can't get away from it. I mean, you can play anything you want, but you have to hit chord tones as these chords change. And it's just enough of a challenge to be interesting and fun. I also like the fact that it's a slow ballad, so I can get into the Gilmour territory. And the one thing about David Gilmour is that his band created a palette where he could really sing over tracks. And that's another thing that a lot of the guitar players I see out there really aren't interested in. I like to play really slow. I like to try and squeeze emotion out of notes. And I love songs. So that's why I'm playing along with this song. It's one of my favorite songs. So right now I'm playing through the Luxury Drive by Mythos Pedals. But then if you look down here, I'm also playing through this crazy pedal here called the Vacuum Tube Loop Driver. And this is designed to keep your pedal board healthy. I'm not even using it for that. Todd Sharp of Todd Sharp Amps makes this. He's a really great guy, and I have to say, I love the way it sounds, and I love the way pedals sound in front of it. So look at it on his website. It's quite expensive in a way, but to me, it's worth it. I'm borrowing it. I do not own it. I just want to call your attention to it in case it's something you might be interested in. It's designed to plug your pedal board in and solve any problems with degradation from your pedal board. I'm not using that. I'm just using it because it sounds great. So check it out, evaluate it, and you know, it's expensive, but I might be hooked on it. Anyway, there's my pedal board over there. I'm not even plugged into it. There's an input and an output for your pedal board, and it will solve issues if your pedal board is stealing tone. So there's my screen, there's my iPhone, there's the live stream right now, and there's some pedals. Yeah, so let me put this back where it belongs. I like this. This is a Harmony Comet, and it's an American company. The neck is super straight. The workmanship is really, you know, great. Fit and finish are great. The frets are great. It's lightweight. It's reasonably priced. If you want to check one of these out, look at the Sweetwater link below. And these gold foil pickups sound really good. So there's the bridge. It's sweet, not too nasally. Then you go to the neck. Also very sweet. Now I'm going to turn off the luxury drive. I'm going to go to the treble pickup again. And now I'll go to the middle. I love the way these pickups sound. So harmony, you know, it's they don't talk about it much, but it's made in the original Gibson Kalamazoo factory or right next door. I'm not sure. I know that Heritage is made in the original Gibson factory, but maybe Harmony is too. You guys can check me on that. It's right there in Kalamazoo. It's 100% American, which I love. And it's the quality of these is great. I really, really love this thing, and I vouch for it. So let's just take 1 second and talk about the guitar lesson part of this, because I always like to teach something. Oh, and there's a special offer on the Masterclass. I just added 35 videos, like 7 rhythm courses to it. There's a 100 video beginner's course. I love just playing melodically. And I'm going to talk about this for 1 second. It starts on a B major. And because it stays on these chords for 2 bars at a time, you have to kind of pay attention to chord notes. You can just triads and chord notes. And then F sharp minor. You can slide that down. Okay, then to D, then to A, and then to E. So I see the chord shapes as I play, and I use chord tones as safe places to land in between phrases. And then the really cool thing that happens the second time around, it does this C major 13. And for that, I play an A minor. And then the most amazing thing happens, it changes key back to C sharp minor. So you're literally going, it's so fun to play over. And really quickly, Duran Duran had a ringer in the band at this point. Warren Cucurullo, you know, Zappa. He's a Zappa alumni and a super accomplished jazzer. So that, I think that's part of the reason this song sounds so good. It's also pre-Oasis. It sounds like Oasis before Oasis. And it has really sophisticated chords. They wrote this in Warren Cucurullo's living room as they recorded this album, because he had a studio in his living room. So they all wrote it together, and even the lyrics are great. But that's the thing. I mean, I love guitar, but I love music more. So you'll always see me default to great songs. And it's really sophisticated. I mean, check that out. It's like a C minor 7 to C minor 6. And then C minor 9. And that's the acoustic guitar happening right there. So there's a lot of great stuff you can dig out of a song like this. Pretty amazing. Yeah, I'm really into light guitars these days. Now, with regards to a Les Paul, if you get a chambered Les Paul, it can lose some of the tone. But I think an 8.5 pound Les Paul is the perfect balance between weight and tone. Not too heavy, so it'll, you know, you can wear it for a couple of hours on a strap. But if you get lighter than that, the tone seems to slip away. It gets a little too bright and a little too thin, and doesn't have that really punchy mid-range. Speaking of guitars, I don't know if you guys are watching this, but on Reverb, everything is dropping in price, and it's pretty amazing. I look at stuff, and then some people are dropping their guitars by $1,000. Some people are dropping their guitars by $300. I mean, it won't last forever, but this is a good time to watch and look at guitars that you might want. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see these really high-end guitars drop in price and become more affordable. And, you know, I like it. I watch and wait. Buy low, sell high if you can. And the great thing about guitars is you still have most of the money. I have always said that. In my case, I'm lucky enough to be able to write the purchases off, so that saves me a little bit of money too. But if you buy a guitar, you know it's going to hold its value, or you're going to get 70% out of it at least. So not a lot of things in life that are like that. I mean, certainly automobiles are not like that. So I always say, if you buy a piece of gear, you still have the money. And there's some things that you buy and they sell for way more than you paid. Some pedals, they develop cult followings. And when you sell them, you get a lot more. So Don't feel guilty about buying the next thing because you still have the money. If somebody's asking about a Les Paul, Les Paul standards are actually great because they are affordable. I prefer, and this is, I'm very, very sure about this. I like the 1960 Les Paul because it has the slim taper neck, and that's the neck I want to play these days. So my recommendation for a Les Paul, look for a top that you really like, and look for a weight that is hopefully around 8.5 pounds. If you can, you can go 8.75 pounds if you want. So 8.5 pounds, a top that you like. Look for a standard because they're less expensive if possible. And the V2 taper neck, 1960 Les Paul standard. Now, if you really, really want, Les Pauls are very satisfying. If you want to go up and spend more money, then you have a lot more choices. But 8.5 pounds Les Paul standard version, the V2 slim taper neck, that can cost half the price of a custom shop Les Paul. Sold your most storage with a huge profit. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the slim taper neck, Philip, I'm there. That's where I'm going to be moving forward. I've played all kinds of guitars in my life, and right now, it's the slim taper neck. That's what I look for. Okay, 30 more seconds of playing and then more talking. Here we go. Just the kind of thing I like. I mean, I always loved playing like Red House because a slow blues, Stormy Monday by Allman Brothers and Red House by Hendrix, because when you play slow, you can also play fast. And it just feels so good. And this is kind of a pop version of playing over a slow blues to me. Yeah, Suzanne, the gold foils, these, I can vouch for these pickups. If you go back and listen to my Gimme Shelter video, I can't believe the tone we got on that. And it's the other the other harmony guitar with gold foils. So yeah, it's really sweet sounding. Okay, this is probably my most casual live stream ever. No, that's not true. The most casual live streams I do are for Masterclass members only, and some of you are here today. So yesterday I did a version of this that's a full hour, and it's very, very zen and chill and casual. I actually watched it, and it's really nice. If you want to check out the Masterclass, twice a month we do a live stream for members only, and it's very, very, shall I say, intimate and very slow, and we talk about everything we can possibly think of. I bought a Murphy Lab at Sweetwater a couple of years ago, and they gave me a discount because I was there at GearFest, and I did a video about it. Okay, I still paid a lot for it. So a Murphy Lab goes up $1,000 for the level of distress. So the light aged is $1,000 more. The next level up is $2,000 more, and the heavy age is $3,000 more. So you're taking a $5,500 guitar and making it 65. No, I think you're taking a $6,500 guitar and making it 75, and then they beat it up more. They make it 85, and they beat it up more and make it 95. It's something like, but it's $1,000 for every time they ding it up an extra. It's just funny, the marketing on those. So I believe the 59s are more expensive just because it says 59. You go to the 60, they're more affordable. You go to the Les Paul Standard, they're more affordable, but you'll see a lot of 9+ pound Les Paul standards. Like I went to Wildwood the other day and looked at their website. They have tons of great Les Paul standards, but they're all above 9 pounds. So if you hunt and you look, To me, it's 8.5 pounds. And certainly if you can go lighter than that, but those become unicorns. You know, the 8-pound, 2-ounce Les Paul is a unicorn. Al, the Doctor Who, you have a bad habit of trying to upgrade your guitars. That's normal, dude. I know people, that's all they do. They buy one level and then they trade 6 guitars and spend a bunch of money and buy the next level, and then they trade 5 guitars and spend a bunch of money and buy the next level. There's nothing wrong with that. I get pretty satisfied with new guitars. I mean, I think you guys know that about me. I've been around vintage guitars my entire career, and I have friends who have huge collections of vintage guitars. I like new guitars better, hands down. It's just the way. What is my opinion of James Tyler guitars? I love them. I have one, and I should fire it up. I've had one forever. They do really well. They're a good company. They particularly sell a lot of guitars in the Far East, I think. They're great guitars. Okay, here's a good point. You're talking about Jimmy Page having it down at his knees when he played standing. Playing sitting, I play kind of at nerd level. And even with my strap, I'll bring it up. And sometimes I'll be shocked at how nerd level the guitar is. I mean, you play better when it's up at your neck. But you don't want it at your neck because it just looks too nerdy. So this is kind of a good compromise, this area. Now, if I play live, I sacrifice and I lower it because live, I don't want to appear like a super nerd. So I do lower it, not to my knees, but I do keep it, you know, I'm aware of it not being too high because of the look of it. You know, we all have that to deal with. You know, the electric guitar is so easy to play when it's up here at your neck, but we're not going to do that. But this thing helps a lot. And as I said, if it's out of stock, just wait for it. You know, he's one guy who makes these things. And as I also said, I am not getting anything in return for this. It's just something that is a really good piece of engineering. It's really simple, works great. Interesting, Tom Morello plays it high. Good for him. He's a rock star. He can do it. I mean, and the thing about this is I thought Andy Timmons is using this. You know, that's like, he's cool. And so if you think this is uncool, well, I think you're wrong because Andy Timmons thinks it's cool. So, and he's thinking about ergonomics, you know. So yeah, 30 more seconds. Let me turn on. Oh, it's on. See, I have the luxury drive on just a bit, not too much gain. I'm going to keep playing because it's worth it. This song sits in C sharp minor for a second. And then it goes to F sharp major, so that's a change too. Before it was F sharp minor, now it's F sharp major. Now there's a really cool turn that's about to happen. G sharp minor, now D sharp 7. They just don't do that in pop songs right now these days. So I love this. So I recommend it too. I mean, yeah, see the chord shape before the transition, then playing it. That is brilliantly said, Rob B. So listen here is saying nice tone in my soloing. You know, I spent a few days kind of tweaking it. And part of it is this expensive box that Todd Sharp makes, the vacuum tube loop driver. I have it. It's going through this little boost that he created. I don't know. And I'm also going through the luxury drive by Mythos Pedals. Mythos. He's a friend of Rhett Scholl's. You've seen him on Rhett's channel. So anyway, I'm going to play a little more. Once again, there is a sale on the Masterclass if you want to take the 14-day free trial. Check it out if you like. But I'm just going to play a little bit more and take a couple of questions, and then we'll move on with our day. Okay, here we go. Oh, you know what? I am going to turn on my guilty pleasure, which is the stereo delay. I recommend stereo delay. I love double stops and sixths. And yeah, I love to play two notes at once. I really do. This song is an amazing way to concentrate on chord tones and learn to play melodically. It's just challenging enough to force you to actually play melodically and pay attention to chord tones. So yeah, there you go. Okay, guys, we're at the end of our time here, so I'm going to play out. And thanks so much for coming, and we'll see you on the next one. And all the links are below for all this gear. I'll add the Mythos link too, because he makes great pedals too. So anyway, guys, thanks so much. We'll see you on the next one.
Mm-hmm.